Hey, Andrew, can you hear me? Awesome. I can see you here. I can't hear you yet, but I can see you. Can you hear me okay? Let me check my audio settings. You can hear me, Byron. Byron, can you hear Andrew? No. So we can't hear you, Andrew. I'm not sure if you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Perfect.
I can hear you now.
Awesome. So we've got some people popping in here. I think we've got 8 participants. There's about 45 registered or so. I'm sure not everybody isn't popping. I want to know that everybody we are recording it so that we can distribute it later on.
Cool.
Awesome. And we're about 3 minutes in to get there, and then we'll just start at that point. So you're up to 9 buyers now. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Just let me see if this is any better. Yeah, there we go. That's
pretty
better. Good. Yeah. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signed.
5 signed. Okay, so you have 5 BRAs signed.
Yes.
Okay, and and you have 2 listings that you've already gotten that you've signed listings, or that?
No, we haven't. We haven't signed any listing paperwork yet.
Okay.
The one is going to be based on when we find her a home.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. But you have a good feeling in regards to this is a client that you're working with, and
Oh yeah. We've already met. We've already seen a ton of
connected.
homes. So
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So what I'll do is I know the general questions that agents are going to have. There's a lot of skepticism with internet leads, as there should be, to be completely honest with you, because there's a lot of stuff out there in terms of promising the world, and I also don't want to do that here, because the results that you've had, I got to be honest with you, are a little bit above what a typical agent is going to get in terms of conversion rate, because the conversion rates with internet leads are generally in the 2% range. And then what we do find is when we go into smaller cities, the conversion rates go up a little bit. And then also when we find superstars like yourself that are really good on the phone and know exactly how to talk to people and know how to communicate in a different level, you end up doing a little bit better. So I don't want to also, overestimate things for people.
yeah, but you know what? The funny thing is, and we'll go into it in the webinar, is that it really did not have much to do with my ability to talk to people on the phone. I'm sure, how I developed such a great relationship after I finally met them.
Right.
Definitely played a big role in why they probably called me to book showings for the next day. But honestly, it really had not a whole lot. I do think I got a little bit lucky, that's for sure. But a lot of it had to do with your autoresponders.
Okay.
And then just my ability to follow up with that.
Follow up from there, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are 1:59, 2 p.m. So we're pretty much ready to go. We'll just start, and then, as I said, we're recording it so that we'll share it with everybody. What I want to do is I want to start off by asking, and we'll ask the people that are on here, and we have Byron and Ria who are part of the webinar, and we'll ask you guys, what questions you want to ask Andrew. And then I think we could even pop you on. I've never done this before, but I think we can go to an attendee and we can pop them on as a host and have them ask a question if they want to ask that question to you or me. And then we can have them ask and we can answer live questions like that. Does that sound fair?
Awesome. Oh, yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
Perfect. So to everybody out there, if you want to pop on, and ask Andrew and myself a question, please raise your hand and just ask the question. Now, everybody should be able to comment. There's a little, if you hover over the video, there's like a little chat icon. If you click on that chat icon, you'll be able to post a question on here, and then you can just raise your hand that you want to, pop on, and we'll get you in and get you to answer a question. Before we also begin, I do want to take a chance and comment on, because I know we've had quite a few clients that have had issues with websites, and I was honestly thinking about not even doing this webinar, because we there's so much work that we're doing in getting these guys back up and running. I honestly want to apologize. And Andrew, you're one of the guys that actually were affected, and we brought things back on fairly quickly for you, and then we're doing the same thing for everybody else. But we had about maybe 280 clients or so that got affected, where one of our servers had an issue and it went down, and we've worked throughout day and night a lot of times just to get things back up in order. And I promise all of you that we are going to get everything squared away. We're going to get everything back to how it was. If you've been missed, if you have a question, the best way for you to actually get these questions answered is if you submit a ticket to support@agentlocator.ca, because we have a queue there of people going through things. So I just want to comment on that before we get into it. So awesome. All right. So my first question would be, how much do we spend per month on your account, so that everybody kind of knows that you're not, or what it is you're spending per month?
You know what? I think we decided, and I'm sure we'll get into it because I was a little skeptical about internet leads. So we started off with a pretty conservative amount of $200.
Okay, so we're spending on Google. We're spending $200 a month on Google, and then your cost with our system is $158.95 a month. So you're paying Agent Locator $158.95 plus HST, and on Google we're spending $200 a month to advertise this website and get these internet leads coming in to you. So just so everybody knows, the $200 a month that we're spending with Google doesn't actually have any HST on that. So the $158.95 has HST, 200 doesn't. And now the number of leads, how many leads would you say you get per month for the $200 a month?
Well, it's only been, I think, one full month now, or 1 month and a week, 5 weeks, I guess. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Multiple pages.
Would you mind if I popped on while we're doing this just to find out? Or Ria, yeah. Could you find out for us what the total number of leads Andrew has in his account?
And we're not going to be over 60. It has to be.
Okay. Just so we can kind of give people the general sense of how many leads we're working with. That way, some people might think that we're working with thousands of leads, and you're able to get, 8 people or 9 people from thousands. No. Okay. All right. So now the other thing that I want to comment here is that depending on area, the number of leads we're going to get for the amount of money we spend is going to differ. So in Niagara, you have 88 leads in total, Andrew.
Yeah, I saw that. Great.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So we have, let me actually, somebody just raised their hand. Luke, allowed to talk. So Luke, we're going to allow you to talk in just a quick second. What we'll do is, so for depending on area, the amount of money we spend online, it's going to differ how many leads you're going to get. So in the Niagara region, we're capable of getting 88 leads for about $200, which is an incredible cost per lead. And some areas are going to be a little bit more expensive, and that's primarily due to the the general cost per click in the area that we have. So Luke said that's okay. It sounds like you're answering my question. Perfect. If you do have any other questions while we talk about this, and I'm going to get through a lot of these general questions, but I'm sure you guys are going to have some questions that you'd like us to pop on there and answer. Okay, so that means we're spending $200 a month. We're getting about 88 leads in your area, and out of those 88 leads, how many would you say you've actually met with? So out of the 88 leads, how many people would you say you met with?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Haven't talked to 7 yet. Haven't talked to 8 yet, and then 9. So 7 people total.
Okay, so 7 people we've met in total.
Oh, sorry, 8, because 1 is a listing but not a buyer.
Okay. Out of the 88 leads, you met with 8 of them within the very first month. And again, that's incredible. That's awesome. The fact that you've been able to get these guys to meet with you fairly quickly. Most of the time, we find that most internet leads are at the very beginning stage of the buying process, and may not want to meet. So out of these 88 people, how many people would you say you've talked to?
I would say I should have been a little bit more prepared, but I would say probably about 12 to 15 actually responded.
Okay, so we have out of the, and now do you, just out of curiosity, what's your process? Is your process when a lead comes in, you send, our system sends out an SMS message, right? And then are you only responding and talking to the leads that respond to that SMS?
No. I will, if I'm busy, I'll arrange a time to give everybody a call in a list format, usually typically right in the morning. But other than that, if they respond to the auto text that you guys send out to them, I'll respond right away. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So just to comment on what Ria said here, everybody, so if you're posting a question here on Zoom webinar chat on your right-hand side, make sure that your to is selected to all panelists. And you can also say all panelists and attendees so everybody can actually see your questions. That way we want to make sure that your questions are coming through to us. So that means you're calling every single lead that comes in, perfect. Now, what would be a good question to ask? I'm just now thinking from, we've gone into how much, we've gone into what you do. What's the biggest frustration you've had with internet leads so far?
You know what? I'm getting such great results that I'm not really thinking about the frustration too much. A few of them a few of the bad ones have actually been straight up with me. If it was a real number, they would say things. Hey, listen, this is what I want. I'm from Toronto. I've got $250K cash. I want a house. I don't care where it is, somewhere in the Niagara region, but it has to be fully upgraded. If it's not fully upgraded or a new build, then I don't want to waste your time. Those are some of the conversations that I get from some of the bad ones, which is okay because at least there's some sort of closure there. You don't have to think what if anymore.
Right. So the primary issue might be there is the ones that actually don't even respond. So the ones that are just
MIA. That's the biggest frustration ones because I mean you're not really frustrated because you knew you have to deal with those numbers at some point anyways. But for the fake numbers, you just kind of move on.
Yeah, internet leads, guys, have never been about quality. Internet leads have always been about quantity, and we're trying to get as many leads as we possibly can and get through those leads as fast as we can to get to the ones that are good. That's what internet leads has been about from day one. And now what we're doing with our systems is we're creating these systems to make it easier for you to get through that list, by sending out an SMS and getting those that are actually good to respond back. How many would you say, and this might be just a question that I don't know because you won't really know, but out of the eight or nine people you've met with, how many of them would you say responded to that SMS message that was sent?
Oh, well, every single one of them.
Okay. Was it the first message that went out? They responded to that first message?
Yes.
Okay.
I typically haven't seen anybody respond to the second message being sent out.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So that's a good thing to know because, for a lot of those agents that are just relying, because we have a lot of clients that they don't want to make phone calls. They don't want to talk to people that don't want to talk to them ever. So all they rely on is the SMS system. Once that lead responds back by an SMS message, they only have a conversation with those people. So at least from that perspective, we know that, the ones that do respond back are generally very good. And, it's what you make of it in essence as well. Were you by any chance in the webinar when Beverly Ruffner was on?
No, I missed it. I was away.
Beverly, so we're going to have Beverly come back twice a month to us, and she's going to teach us how to talk to these leads online. And she's got her scripts. It was actually a question: are you using certain scripts or dialogues from Brandon? This was a question to you, Andrew. So, are you currently using any kind of scripts, or are you just going off?
You know what? And I did talk to Anthony Brown from Real Estate Hacks. He sent out an actual script. I used that for
Drew read it today. That was good. Yeah.
So if Brandon, if you don't have that, I can send that to you. But to be honest, after a while, I just used basically the AgentLocator first SMS text, and I manipulated that in such a way that I just kind of used it in my emails. I used it on my phone calls, and it was easy because it was just like a quick little 3-sentence little script. So yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to share my screen for a second here, just to kind of give everybody a chance to take a look at that SMS message we're talking about, just so they can see that. Give me a quick second. and I'm going to log into an account here that I can log into and share. So this one is, all right, so how do I now? Just gotta go here and share.
Share a screen somewhere?
Share that screen, click on share. Okay, so you guys can see my screen there, right? Andrew, can you see my screen?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Perfect, okay. So this is actually somebody else's account. This account has 2,263 leads inside of it. But what I'm doing is, and we have full right to actually showcase this account, just so everybody knows, I will never ever log into a client's account without their permission. And we really don't need others, since we use this one for everything. So here's an example. When a lead comes into our...
Yep. You just got to take down your audio test. It's
audio test. Oh, one second.
From the screen? Yeah, it's blocking all the info.
I don't even see it on here, but let me see. Is it... maybe this is... One sec. Oh, this. Is that it?
No, it's the audio test that comes on before you go live on the webinar with Zoom.
I don't even see it on here, which is a little weird, but here, let me try to...
It should be, and maybe it's coming up from your settings.
It's fine, can see screen fine. So maybe it's yours, Andrew, because other people are saying that they can see it fine. Is it your audio settings possibly?
Yes, it is. All right, move on.
All right. Awesome. So when a lead comes in from our websites, you know, some of the things that you're going to be able to see is first off, you know, the first name, last name, phone number, and email address of the lead. Then you're also going to see the activity. So what properties that person looked at when they came onto the website. And then if we click on more details, we can see exactly which properties those people looked at. That gives you a little bit of an insight in terms of exactly what they're looking for. And then not only that, but you can kind of get a little deeper into it. Like we can see that this person here looked at only one image viewed, but this individual listing was looked at, had 23 images viewed. So that gives you a little bit more insight in terms of, you know, what they might like. That image, this listing was looked 15 images, this one is 1. So anyway, that gives you a little bit of insight. And then if we go over to our SMS tab, what we have the ability to do is shoot an SMS message. So this is a direct text message right to their cell phone. And our system has the ability to do this automatically. So as soon as the lead comes in, within 5 minutes, we can have this SMS sent out to them. And that SMS reads out information that they've looked at. So for example, it says to them, I see you're looking at listings in Mississauga. Is your price range 450 to 470? And you're looking for a condo apartment. And that information is just simply gathered off of what they're looked at on the website. So through built-in smart technology, we understand how to actually compose that message together and shoot it off to them.
Yeah, and I find it also works a lot too, because as you said, a lot of the buyers are starting out on their buying process, and they're not really sure of what they want or what they can afford. So I find that once you put that number in that SMS text, if they're looking for something lower, which a lot of the time they are, that will prompt a response almost right away because, oh, no, actually, you know what? I'm not looking for 470. I'm looking for 450. Anything under that, please send to me. I've been getting a lot of responses like that.
Interesting. Yeah, so that you know, jives a response from them. And to be completely honest with you, we're also testing out different SMS messages. We're trying to figure out, you know, which messages work the best way. And what, you know, how do we get a response back? And one interesting message was, it was really simple. And all it said was, hey, is this Taj? Question mark. We're seeing a really high response in that message. But the only problem with that, message is that the conversation from there wasn't as good because it's not a direct real estate message. You're kind of tricking them into responding, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right. So other than that, I wanted to kind of show that part of it, show the CRM and how it functions. The websites, the way that the websites guys look is they are specifically made for lead generation. And what we're doing is we're just trying to get people onto these sites and trying to get them to register. Once they've registered, we track everything they do. But the websites give your leads the ability to search through all the properties in the area where you work. Let's see if we've had any questions that I can just pop on. Okay, Alex, how does your system set up on automatic SMS? So Alex, we have a CRM system in our backend that does all of that for you. To a lot of these clients or a lot of you guys that have never seen our system, the best thing to do is to get a demo. And to get a demo, all we need from you is just to speak with a sales rep. So you can submit your contact information here. Byron and Ria are our trainers. They can connect you with a sales rep. They can give you a demo to show you exactly how that works, and answer any what they'll do is they'll share their screen with you and show you everything that our system does and how it works. Let me see if anything else that comes up on your side, Andrew, that you may want to mention to agents that might be like you were skeptical in the beginning as well.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is that it took me 2 demos because I was that skeptical. And I think it was just the main reason was it's so new to me, especially, being a new agent. After my first year, I was looking to expand my business. And I would just, it's not that I've heard that internet leads were bad or if they were good. I just couldn't trust it because I had never experienced it.
Right.
And then, so like I said, it took me a couple of demos. So if there's anybody out there, just request a demo, go through it, even twice if you need to. And then you'll see just how easy the process is and, how user-friendly the entire interface is as well. I was a little bit worried about how I was going to manage all these leads, and the CRM on the back end just does an amazing job.
Yeah, thank you for that. Did you know Drew McIntosh? You mentioned him on the comments. He's been with us for a while. I know he's definitely had some success with it as well. And have you had a chat with him prior to signing up by any chance, or no?
No, actually. You know what? There's a couple of people that I reached out to. I think Justin Jeffrey was on it from Milton, and then a couple of other people. But it was the demos that completely did it for me.
Okay. I remember a comment that when you made a comment. You're signing up with AgentLocator, and then Drew commented on you and says, "Prepare to get busy." That was one of the comments that he made.
Yes, yes.
So that ended up being true.
Very true. Yes.
Awesome. I honestly, is the SMS a chat box format? So Graham, the SMS, our SMS built-in functionality into our CRM is like a chat software, but when your client receives that message, or when your lead receives that message, it's on their phone. It's actually right on their phone. Yeah. And then our system also has the ability, for those of you that might not know, if we could do a quick test, in fact, we could probably do a test. You guys have a phone number? I can give you guys a phone call. So our system also has the ability to do VoIP dialing. So
we can use mine.
Sure. I'm going to just search up a test lead here, and I can call. And just to kind of demo that part of it and show how that works. So dial lead. What's your phone number, Andrew?
905 380 6702.
702. Okay. Let's make sure that's test. All right. Are you able to hear when that dials out?
No.
Okay, so I might not be able to. We might not be able to hear you. Well, we'll be able to hear you talk from the Zoom meeting, but did I put the right number? 905 380.
Yeah.
6702. Okay. Oh,
there we go.
It's a little hard to see. Go ahead and answer it real quick.
Hello.
Hey, okay, so I can hear you twice actually now, which is I can hear you through Zoom and I can hear you here as well. And so what's also nice with this is that, so now that we've had a conversation, I can actually end that call, and I can save the call and, save any notes of what we talked about. And then I can also go into the notes and calls, and I can play back that call that we just had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it records. I don't know if you've used that functionality yet.
No.
Okay.
I haven't had the opportunity to use the dialer yet, so.
Yeah, it's built right in. So all you have to do is click on dial. It's already built into your platform. If you have SMS built in, it's already built in. So just click on the phone number and click on dial, and you'll be able to dial out. All right. Outside of that, I honestly, I think I've poked into a lot of the stuff and a lot of the questions that you guys might have. Believe me, all the questions can get answered by a demo. You know, if you email sales@agentlocator.ca, so that's sales at agentlocator.ca, or if you go to agentlocator.ca and click on the little demo button, you can submit your info. When you pop in, we'll give you a full demonstration of how the product and how the service works and everything that we do. I'm not sure if I've missed anybody. Let me see if there's any hands raised just to double check.
And then while you're checking, I'll just chime in a little bit. So I was actually getting enough quality leads that I was feeling pretty confident about leveraging someone else's help. So I had a helper from our office in Niagara Falls there, who she actually helped me call the ones that I couldn't service actually, and she was the one who booked the listing presentation and got the listing. So it goes to show you that, you know, in our first month we were getting such a great response. It was more than I actually expected, that I couldn't physically service the new leads that were coming in because I was so busy with my own work and the production from AgentLocator and the ads that I was from the ads that I was putting out on Google. So I guess it's, you know, it's probably not going to be the same results for everybody, but I'm just telling everybody right now that it wasn't all me. As soon as they responded, yes, I was quick to jump on it and follow up with them. But as far as when I got a text saying a new lead came in, I'll tell you, I wasn't jumping on the phone to give them a call right away because of the confidence that I have in the auto responder and how good of a job it was doing. So if that's all I got to say is that it's one of those things where you got to try it and just see how it works in your market. Cause right now it's doing a phenomenal job here.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And that's generally one of the biggest problems that we've always had with internet leads is how fast we get to them. I'm not sure if anybody knows this or not, but when I first got into internet lead generation, this was 6.5, 7 years ago. And I had agents, you know, I was selling agents on internet leads. I probably at that time, I called about 1,000 agents myself, and I sold, I think, about 30 of them, and 15 of them loved the system, while the other 15 absolutely hated it and didn't make any money from it whatsoever. And I quickly found out there that the primary issue was the fact that the agents were not making calls. They were not doing follow-ups. They're not doing anything. They were expecting that the leads were just going to call them. And in internet leads, guys, are not like that. They're never like that. And at that time, I actually had set up a call center. So we had a call center of people from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. where they actually call these leads on behalf of the agents. And then within about 9 months, we had to shut that down because RICO came after us. They sent us a cease and desist letter stating that we're practicing in real estate without a license. So we had to shut down the call center, but it wasn't really for that, because the main reason we had to shut it down in the end was that our clients were using unlicensed people to solicit business for them. So we were not allowed to make calls on behalf of the agents, and that was the #1 issue. So that's when I started building out a system. I said, you know what, if a human can do it, then a system can do it. An automated system can do it, and even an SMS message is as good as a phone call in essence, because it does exactly what we need it to do, which is just reach out to that lead. So that is all. That is all, honestly, Andrew. I truly want to thank you. I mean, you know what, the fact that you're coming out here sharing and you know, saying what your experience is like has been it's amazing. Thank you so much. Honestly.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
I think a lot of the agents are gonna, you know, truly appreciate it. Guys, remember, he works in the Niagara region, so, and send all your referrals over.
Yeah.
He's gonna treat your clients, you know, absolutely incredible. And thank you all so much, Andrew, especially you. Thank you very much, and we'll touch base. If you guys have any questions, again, agentlocator.ca.
Okay. See you later, guys.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
Bye.